Hi, this is Paul Marsalik with another edition of Management Matters. I'm glad that you joined me today here from Black Hills Energy. In the last two segments, we talked about the ABCs and the XYZs. Those people that bring great attitudes to work and those that the attitude isn't so good or isn't exactly what we want to properly and safely serve our customers. And then in the next segment, we talked about what one of the impacts is on the ABCs and XYZs, and that's this first line supervisor. In fact, research tells us from the Gallup organization and other companies is that first line supervisors really make all the difference in terms of engaging people. Now that doesn't mean that we can change what people are or who they are, or we can re-raise them as we talked about the last time, but we can have an impact on them, and that's what this segment is about. In the last segment, I talked in general terms that supervisors can do things differently to activate and motivate people and generate higher levels of engagement. One of the specific items that supervisors can do is communicate clear expectations. The Gallup Q12 survey's first question is, I know what's expected of me at work, and based on how the responses are to that question on a scale of 1 to 5, it really drives what is on the rest of the survey. Today we're going to talk about expectations, but let's go ahead and get tactical. One of the pieces of expectations, and I used to teach this when I was with the Gallup organization, is I would say to supervisors, what you really need to do is sit down with your team and talk to them about expectations, and the conversation sounds something like this. You sit down and say, so tell me, do you know what's expected of you at work every day? And invariably people would say, yes, of course I do. And what I would tell supervisors to do is ask the next question. Say, okay, well, great, just to make sure we're on the same page, why don't you tell me what it is? This is where I recommend you're sitting down. Sit down for this conversation, because you're going to hear things that do not sound familiar to you. They have a certain, the people that work for us bring different talents and different orientations, different experiences, different training. They bring a different focus to work every day. They come from different lives than we do. So when they look at their work and think of their expectations, unless it's already been clearly defined, they think very differently than you might. So they're going to tell you things that you have no idea where it came from. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Take copious notes, write them down, think about them, talk about them out loud, and begin to get clarification on what the real expectations are. In the next entry, I'm going to talk to you about how to take the purpose of the organization, or what you're really trying to accomplish, and build it into expectations. But again, that's a conversation for another day. Today, this is Paul Marsalik with Black Hills Energy, talking about knowing what's expected of you every day at work and the role the supervisor plays in engaging people. Thanks for listening.